Hi, so in this lesson we are going to be multiplying exponential expressions with the same base. So that's a key component of this lesson. Notice how in problem 1, 2, and 3 the base of all of these expressions are the same within the problem. So in problem 1 the base is x, problem 2 the base is y, and problem 3 the base is 3. So that comes into play into this lesson because we're going to form a rule, and the rule only works with expressions being multiplied together that have the same base. And so we're going to show you how that looks. So looking at problem 1, we have x to the 4th times x to the 3rd. Now first I'm going to go through this by expanding it, and we'll see what we get. So expanding it, we have x times x times x times x times x times x times x. Right, so we have x to the 4th here multiplied by x to the 3rd. And now this is x to the 7th, because if you, like we did in lesson 1, our exponent is how many times your base is being multiplied together, right? So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, so our final simplified expression is x to the 7th because x is being multiplied together 7 times. So this is the expanded way. Now we're gonna take a look at the rule. Now if you looked at the worked example, it might help you out a little bit, but the rule for this applies only if we're multiplying exponential expressions with the same base. So keep that in mind. So these do have the same base and they're being multiplied together. Now our rule, we have x to the 4th times x to the 3rd. Our rule is that if they have the same base and they're being multiplied together, your exponents can be added together to get your simplified expression. So if that's the case, let's just try it. We have x to the 4th times x to the 3rd. So then it's going to be x to the 4th plus 3, right? We're just adding our two exponents together. Simplifying that, you get x to the 7th. Now this is the same as what we got up here, right? This was using our expanded version, and this was using our rule. They ended up getting the same thing. Now we're going to take a look at a few different examples to make sure it works again, but that's our rule. So I'll write it out. So if they have the same base, then our exponents add together. Sorry for the messy handwriting, but that is our rule. So when we're using multiplication and they have the same base, you add the exponents together. So that being said, let's look at number 2. I'm going to show you one more time using the expanded version. So by expanding it, we have y times y times y times y times y times y. So we have y to the 1st. And notice that this doesn't have a written exponent on it. No written exponent means that the exponent is 1. You just never have to write that, so just know that. So we have 1y, 2, and 4. So this is y to the 1st, y to the 2nd, y to the 4th. If we count how many y's we have, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have y 7 times, which equals y to the 7th, right? Because that's what exponents are. Our exponents are how many times they're being multiplied together. So we have y to the 7th. Now let's try using our rule and see if we get the same thing. So we have y times y squared times y to the 4th. And if we use our rule, we're going to add all of our exponents. So 1 plus 2 plus 4. This equals y to the 7th. Notice how, again, our simplified expressions do match. So our rule does work. as long as you are going through all of it correctly. Okay, one last example. Let's see. So our third example. Again, we have the same base of 3. I'm going to go ahead and expand this one more time, and in part B of this whole lesson, we'll give you a little more freedom of like trying these without expanding it. So expanding, we have 3 times 3. I'll just put these in parentheses to separate them so we can see. And then times 3 times 3 times 3, right? So here's our 3 squared times our 3 to the 3rd. Now if you look at this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 being multiplied together 5 times. Now we put it in exponent form, we get 3 to the 5th, right? And now let's use our rule. So 3 squared times 3 to the 3rd. Since they do have the same base, we can use our rule and add our exponents. So we have 3 to the 2 plus 3, which equals 3 to the 5th. Again, these match, so as long as they match up, we're doing something right. If you want to go ahead and simplify this, you can use a calculator, and 3 to the 5th simplifies to be 243. So this is how, or this is our rule for when we are multiplying exponents, exponential expressions with the same base.